Hello. Hello. It's Wednesday, so you know it's time for Brunch with Diva. Just gonna let everyone come in. Yes. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Hello, Michelle. Thanks for joining. Oh my goodness. New Joy London, I see you. Thank you for joining. Hey, Flower Child. What's going on? Thanks for joining. Iris Lux underscore. Yes, thanks for joining. Good to see you. Oh my goodness. Hey, Deanna. Thanks for joining. Oh my goodness. Well, you guys, it's Wednesday, so you know it's time for Brunch with Diva. I'm excited as usual to get to know another PFF, and I'm going to just go ahead and bring her on so we can go ahead and get started. You know, time is money, guys, you know. Let's go ahead and bring her on. She'll be on. Hello, hello. Chic Dietitian, thanks for joining. I love that name, Chic Dietitian. I think I need a dietitian. Hello,
Hi,
Melissa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I'm so excited to have you here because I'm just like, I just want to get to know her. She's already my friend in my head, but I want to get to really know her.
I appreciate you asking.
Oh, yes, yes. I mean, I actually had in mind to ask you a little earlier, but how things happen. So
Right.
I was like, right at the first of the year, she's on. I was just hoping you would agree.
Oh, of course. Why would I not?
Well, it's so good to have you here today. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join Brunch with Diva.
Absolutely.
But my first question is always, how did you come up with your IG name?
Well, Vandy's is not my name. Obviously, my name is Melissa, but it's a
Right.
contraction from my last name because my last name is Vandridge. So I
Oh,
actually did that on a previous business. I used to have a card making business I had on Etsy, and it was called Vandy Crafts because I thought it was, clever. And so it's just basically a contraction to my last name.
oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, this makes sense too. To
People
turn
call
my
me
light
Vandy.
on.
People call me Vandy all the time, though.
Oh,
I'm
do
like,
they?
my name is Melissa.
Please call me Melissa. That is my name.
Yeah.
Well, tell everyone how'd you get started in reselling? How long you've been reselling?
Well, I've been reselling since April 9th of 2017. And I had previously, like a couple of months previously, there was an article about a reseller and about Poshmark, actually, specifically, and how she was making a full-time income. And I had just like 4 months prior, or like 3 months prior, I had like stopped my card making business I had on Etsy for 4 years. It just wasn't going in the direction I wanted. Not that many people get specialized greeting cards anymore because you can get them for so cheap at like the drugstore or whatnot. And so I was like, I was looking for something else to do because I love having something else on my plate. And at the time I was working full time. And so I decided to I didn't start with my own closet because I thought nothing in my closet was really worth it because, I shop at Old Navy and Target and whatever.
Right.
I don't know, I do sell that sometimes, but I started going to the thrift store, which was not normal for me because I grew up with it being stigmatized, even though I was poor. But my
I
mother
did too,
stigmatized
though.
it for me. Yeah, exactly.
I did too, though, because my mom, well, honey, she was just, she didn't even like me to let even a relative, a cousin, let alone a friend, wear anything of mine. I happened to make that mistake one time. I was like, oh,
Oh
you just put
no.
this shirt on so we can go outside and, play around or whatever. My mom was just like horrified.
Oh
You
wow.
don't let people wear your things. And thrifting, oh no, she would not have it.
Right.
So I was like, okay. And I felt that way too. I was like, wearing other people's stuff. What?
Yeah,
No,
right.
I wouldn't do it. But, here I am thrifting away, sourcing away, finding things.
I have to say like 80% of my closet now is now thrifted. You know.
Isn't that amazing? But,
Yeah.
had I think both of us learned early on that, there's some good finds out there.
Oh
We
yeah.
probably, we would have been into this. I would have been so into that, paying less money than I paid. As you know, well, I'm not gonna say as you know, but for me, plus sizes are, were expensive.
I do know I'm plus size.
Yeah. So I would have loved to pay like $3 or $5 for a name brand dress.
You pay out the nose for something that looks like tapestry. It sucks.
Mm. It's a crying shame, girl.
Especially when I was a kid. I don't know how old you are, but I'm 45. And when I was a kid in the 80s, and I was always a little bit on the bigger side. And so,
Mm-hmm.
it was hard to find clothes that were actually even remotely cute.
Well, I feel your pain on that because I'm 60.
Okay.
So
you would
back then.
She has me like my age, around my age.
Well, thank you, darling. But yeah, so back then, just think that there were very, very limited places that sold, and they would sell it for stocky kids. I guess stout. Yeah. That was the word, stout. So back then, but as I, grew up and things, it got a little easier. But even when you're a young kid back then, it was hard to not dress frumpy.
Yeah, exactly. I look at pictures like in my middle school and I'm like, God, I did not know how to dress well. But, also I wish I would have figured out thrift stores when I was younger, because at 14, I had to work like in the summer and after school to pay for my own school clothes because my mom decided she was not going to pay for that anymore. So I'm like, okay. So I started paying for that, but I wish I would have known that I would have saved so much money. I thought it was so rich working for the YMCA in the summer. Oh, let me tell you.
I know. Let me just run to the comments real quick. Litterwell says, secondhand is best. Yes, I know. Thank you all for joining Brunch with Diva today. Courageously Thriving says, I'm a thrifter at heart, been thrifting since I was a little girl with my dad. Yes. Had I known all that good stuff was out there, you never know where we'd be right now.
Right.
So what platforms do you sell on?
Currently, I'm selling on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay with Mercari because Mercari is just not really performing for me, and I feel like I'm wasting my time with it.
I just had this discussion on Swag Slayer Fashion's YouTube channel. I'm coming fresh off of that, but we just talked about different platforms, and one of them, of course, was Mercari. And I was saying that I wish that Mercari was a little bit more like Poshmark, maybe, with you being able to maybe not so much share, but at least have a way to push your clothes. I think the only thing that you can do is promote, and that sends it out to. But mine has been like the Sahara Desert.
I think it depends on what you're selling, though. So I think it's more for if you're selling electronics or you're selling like toys, or you're selling other things like that. Like, I think that's a good platform for those.
Well, and I have over the past week or so thought about just switching it out altogether. Maybe getting, I have a lot of books I can put on there right now. Some other things that I'm not actually, using right now. Right. So maybe I just need to change the whole vibe of it, and maybe it'll come back to life.
Yeah, I'm going to get stuff that's on there, about 800 listings on there, but they're mostly clothes. But I've been doing a lot of cups lately, so I'm putting cups on there. Huh?
On Mercari?
Yeah. Well, I have like 1,200 on Poshmark and eBay right now.
Oh, okay. Yes, eBay. That's a whole nother creature.
It is. But I'm putting a lot into eBay this year, and it's already paying off. So my conversion rate metric at the very beginning of the year was 1.2, and it's at 1.7 as of as of the 18th. So it's gone up a half a point in 18 days. And so that's been really good. And all I've been doing is listing consistently and, doing some bulk edits, like raising it up $1, doing promoted listings in bulk. And the eBay likes if you do bulk edits, because it's like you're touching all your inventory at the same time, and it's really quick. You can do it like in 5 minutes.
Oh my God! See, that just gave me heart palpitations. You said bulk. I'm like, what? And then I'm just completely.
So slick, though. like if you got used to it, it's you like appreciate what it does, considering you can't like when you update stuff like on Poshmark, you have to do one at a time. And
Right.
that takes literally years to go through a lot of inventory. Like just the thought process of going through like 1,200 listings at like lower prices, I'm like, no, that's not going to happen for me. But I
Right,
mean, I could lower all my prices on eBay within 2.5 minutes.
Wow.
Over 1,200
Well,
listings.
I'm inching closer to giving it a try. I just think that for me, it became overwhelming when I tried because they're just, and I say this all the
Fair
time.
enough.
People know me. I say it. It's just next thing you know, I have to enter my blood type. I just, it's just so much that they want. But the main thing that not that really kind of confused me when I was on tried to be on there before is the shipping.
Oh, well, see, shipping you can do a multitude of different ways. See, on most items, I actually charge a flat rate of $8.99 shipping on most items. And on like tops, like lightweight tops, I charge $4.99 shipping. But I do calculated rate for international shipping. I do ship worldwide, but I do the calculated. All you have to make sure, if you do calculated, you have to make sure your weight is correct and not the weight of your item, the weight of your item packaged. That's what you need to take stock of and make sure like I have my scale right here on my desk. I weigh things and to make sure like some things I don't weigh because I know what they weigh. I like, oh, I know these pair
Right.
of Clarks, they weigh under 2 pounds. I'm gonna put 2 pounds because I know they weigh over a pound. But yeah, you just got to make sure. Like I underestimated a beer stein, or not a stein, but a beer mug I sold a couple days
Uh-huh.
ago, and it was up there for 45. It was for a Texas like rodeo from 1983, and he offered me 30. I'm like, okay, well I only charge him $8.99 shipping. Well, it turns out that it cost me $13.49 shipping. But because it
Wow.
weighed over 2 pounds packaged, I weighed it just the cup and kind of estimated some filler. I'm like, oh no, to ship this safely, it's going to be over 2 pounds. So it was okay.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
learned from that though.
Well, I mean, that's how we learn in this game. It's just trial by error sometimes, and you
Right.
just have to make an error to learn the lesson. But I think that's with all of us in any platform. Well, so with you selling, I know that you use Vendu. Do you use Vendu
I do.
for your cross? So
I do.
how are you? I tried that as a trial, but they don't give you very much on the trial to determine whether you like it or not. So I wasn't really sure. I thought about trying it again because I had list perfectly um, last year, and I got rid of it because I really kind of want to revamp my closet and add some new things to it and things like that. But what is it that is your favorite about Vendu?
Well, I love the relist and delist feature. I love, love, love that. Like it's just a click of a button to do it. And when you do it on eBay, it's not like relisting like on eBay. So if you delist it on eBay and relist through Vendu, it's like you did a sell similar on eBay. So it gives it a whole new item number. I do try to change out like the title and not necessarily the pictures, but revamp the title when I relist on eBay. I don't relist a lot on eBay. I'm kind of trialing some stuff, letting some stuff ride, some older stuff, and then running some sales on the older stuff, seeing if that helps it move faster, upping the promoted listing percent on the older stuff to see if that will make it move faster, because that gives eBay I know I'm going to eBay, but anyway, back to Vendu. I actually tried both. Like I was with List Perfectly for a long time, and then I realized that it wasn't. I couldn't really trust it for delisting my items because it wasn't actually delisting them on Poshmark specifically for a I had on Poshmark that was not that were sold. So anyway, I ended up going to Vendu, and yeah, I've not had that problem since, not with them at all. And they actually have a built-in system for if it doesn't delist like on Poshmark for whatever reason, it actually says we could not delist this. So it's
Oh,
not
okay.
it's not a mystery if it delisted it or not. Right away. Oh yeah, it did. You can look in your sold to have a big red explanation point and say that it didn't do it. So then you go and figure out why, but it's few and far between. I really love the platform.
Oh, well, that's great. I think, like I said, I did try it, but I don't think the trial was long enough for me to really determine if I really like them or not.
Right.
Because I think they give you X amount
You can
of
get 5 for
listings.
free.
Yeah, 5
Yeah.
for free. So I don't really think, I mean, I listed it fine, but I wasn't sure. I needed more time. That's what I needed. Just to try to see, if I really wanted to continue
Yeah.
on with them. So I know
Well,
that, oh, go ahead.
no, it's fine.
Oh, well, I was going to skip over to your YouTube channel.
Sure.
And oh my God, you have great videos on your YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you.
And you just, I don't know, you just seem so relaxed and all that. What kind of advice? Because I know that there are people who are anxious
Oh, I think you're
about
breaking up.
going.
I don't know if you're breaking up for anybody else.
Oh, really? Am I? Because I look so clear to me.
Okay. I don't. It might be me. It might be on my side.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I
Well,
think it might be.
you guys let us know in the comments. Because I don't know. It's so crazy. All right.
I always blame my internet if it goes wrong.
Okay, there you are. Because you kind of froze.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna try to switch.
Okay, so we're gonna see if Melissa
Oh,
is
okay.
coming back
I
to
switched to
us.
LTE. Maybe
Okay.
that was my phone.
Oh, but what kind of advice could you give to someone who was anxious about starting a YouTube channel? I mean, how did you decide that you wanted to go to create a YouTube channel?
Well, I felt like I had things to share. I mean, that's what it came down to. I felt like I had things to share. I was watching other YouTube channels and I thought, well, this would be cool to share. That what I wasn't seeing. So I was trying to show things I wasn't seeing necessarily. So I got real transparent with my numbers, and I don't like really hide what I make, because I mean, I may skip making a video, but I don't really hide what I make because I don't find the point in that. Like, I'm very like logical in that way. And I don't know, I thought it was a fun outlet, and I just wanted to try it to see if I could do it, and to kind of push myself out there, to get myself out of my comfort zone. And
Right.
like, I do like mixing with people, but it's nerve-wracking for me every time. So every time I go live, I'm nervous every single time. You may not notice, but I am. Like right now, I am nervous because I'm live. But I try like to like suppress it and like feel the fear and do it anyway.
Right, right. Just kind of lean into it.
That's right.
But that's kind of how I tell people, about going live. I'm like, you know what? You just have to do it. It took me a minute, myself, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And I think that the first time I did, I did an unboxing, and that was comfortable for me.
Nice.
And it wasn't even like I think in the back of my mind, I was thinking the internet can just be so cruel. They just, they get all their chutzpah behind, being behind that keyboard.
Yeah.
So I just think that, I was like, well, forget about it. It's whatever. I'm going to do it and get it over with. And, it turned out well.
Yeah.
But, I think there's so many people who are afraid to go live, and it's people who want to create channels. I mean, what would you say? Do an unboxing, just find something that you want to, maybe educate about.
I'd say like do what you are passionate about. So if you're passionate about something, that will come through. So, even if you're a little nervous, that's okay. Even if you're kind of a train wreck, that's okay. Like, everyone looks back at their first video and they're like, ooh. Maybe not everyone, but I know I did. I'm like,
I have looked back at my first one. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was in my basement, and my basement looks like it should be like the background of a murder scene. Like it's unfinished. It's kind of gloomy down there, not well lit. It's really kind of scary. A spider can pop out at any moment, which scares the heck out of me. So.
Well, I know. I mean, mine is, when I look back on it, I was like, oh, child, why are you looking like that? And it just, I mean, you get horrified, You were like,
Right.
ooh, and people watched it. Ooh. So,
But oh,
you
I was
just
gonna say
learn
that
as you go
that actually
along.
happened in one of my videos. Like, oh my God, there's a spider. I had to kill it. Like, I don't know if I killed it on camera, but I killed it, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm better now.
Oh my God. Well, I know, I mean, my horror story with YouTube is I had set up this thing. I knew I wanted to do it. I had gathered the people together. I thought, okay, we did a Zoom. It was going to live stream on YouTube. I was ready to go, ready to go. Oh my God. People were looking for me. Where are you? The timer says 9 o'clock. I was like, 9 o'clock? It was supposed to say 7 o'clock. Oh
Oh
my God.
no.
I was just completely devastated. And I stepped back from it for a while. And, then later on down the line, I was ready to go again. And Brunch with Diva was born. But I wanted to do it on here simply because I wanted to get that experience,
Yeah.
you know. And, I'm thinking about switching it to YouTube sooner or later. But, I just think that on here, it was just easier and I didn't have to worry about behind the scenes, making sure it was right and make sure the timer is right and this and that. So since then I've learned a lot, but I just think that, it's a learning thing.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I just tell people, don't just hop on YouTube, give Instagram a try.
Yeah.
You can always take those and put them over there. I do it all the time. Like this one will be on YouTube. So, you don't necessarily have to just start out there. You can start here, grow, or
Right.
feel more comfortable and move on. So let's talk about your open mic.
Okay. Well, it's kind of a newer idea. So I was asking people on, and to be perfectly honest, I got anxiety trying to figure out who I wanted on next, right? So not that I didn't have enough people to ask, I did. I have a plethora, and I think I was death by options, at that point. Like, who do I ask? Who do I pick, right? So I decided, how about I pick the people who want to be on, who want to be picked? Like, so I wanted to get people that don't have necessarily a platform that I may not know of, like people that, may watch me, but they are a reseller, but they don't have Instagram, or they're not really, they have a private Instagram, or they don't do YouTube, but they still want to talk about reselling. So I wanted to have, I was thinking about it for a couple weeks prior to actually doing it. And I'm like, I think this is a great idea. And so I have 3 people on tonight at 5 p.m. And I have Holly coming on, and Christine and Nicole. And I can't remember their handles on Instagram. I'm so sorry. I have to look that up. But it's in my Instagram. So if you go through my post, you'll see it. But I thought, it'd be nice to have like a panel of people on at a time. So if you want to come on, contact me. I think I'm going to just do 3 at a time, because that'll make 4 with myself. Because I don't want to be overwhelmed myself, because I'm just getting used to doing any kind of group. I can have up to 9, but I don't want 9 right now. So I'm like 2 or 3 is what I'm going for. So 3 is the max. And I already have another person, Tiana. She's coming on next week. And yes. And so I'm excited about that. And it's coming together.
I think that'll be fun. I'll have to figure out what time that is central.
Well, we're 2 hours apart, so it would be 7 p.m. for you.
7 for me. Okay, 7 for me. Okay. So, because I want to watch that, because I was so excited. I was like, oh, this is something different. But I think that's a good idea. I haven't in my head. I'm putting it on paper, actually. And I'm really looking and searching out maybe those who, like you said, don't have a platform. They don't have the numbers or anything like that. But just to give them a time to, shine.
Exactly.
Tell their stories, whatever issues, concerns that they may have, or whatever the case may be, but just give them, the spotlight for them to showcase their closets or whatever platforms they're working on. And I always think that's a good idea to do, especially for new resellers.
Yeah.
And it kind of helps them break the ice of being live too.
Right. And someone asked what time zone. I'm in Pacific time. I live in Washington State on the West Coast. So it's Pacific. also, I think it's important because I think people, especially really, really experienced resellers, I think they gloss over the not the relevancy, but lack of a better word, the for new eyes. Like, so my old job, I used to work for a hospital as a medical biller, and that was one of our things is when we were running like a Kaizen event and we bring in someone from a different department who didn't know anything we did, trying to improve a process. And they came in with fresh eyes and they were able to say, okay, this is what I see as an outsider. And not saying that resellers are an outsider, but they're coming in with fresh eyes. They're coming in with new ideas. And sometimes they have ideas that we didn't think about. So that's also a good idea. And I've seen that on like discussions between like not older, but more, seasoned resellers. Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, there's nothing you can really learn from a newer reseller. I'm like, well, that's not true. You can learn a lot from a new reseller, of how they're doing stuff.
Absolutely. Yes. I believe that because
yeah,
as you said, they're coming into it with fresh eyes, and they could probably see something that we have just completely overlooked, have an idea or ideas that we haven't even thought of. Right. So I think that it's good to, engage with new resellers, seasoned resellers, somebody in between. Absolutely. Because you just never know, what you'll learn. And I'm all about learning, because I've only been at this over a year and a half, maybe. But wow. I tell you that I learn something all of the time because, yes, I really intentionally try to position myself to be able to learn from those around me.
Right.
And I'm just all about learning, because this market changes constantly.
Right.
Right. And the platform, and there's so many selling platforms, where you sell over here, someone sells over here on, like we talked about earlier, on Tiana's show, Swag Slayer Talk. There's so many, we went through 13 platforms and some of them I never heard of.
Yeah.
I never heard of. Like Bonanza.
I've heard of them, but I've never used them.
I was like, all I know are the Cartwrights.
I loved Bonanza growing up. That was a great show.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. All I know are the Cartwrights. I don't know anything about Bonanza. And she had another one that I wasn't, Declutter. I had never heard of Declutter. So, she had a few, that I hadn't heard of, but, it opened my eyes to a few things that there are other choices out there except for the main ones that we talk about all the time. Right. Poshmark, eBay, Amazon, Mercari, yeah. So, and I really don't sell kids' clothes, so Depop or Kitizen and things like that. Yeah, I don't.
You can sell mommy clothes on there, that's why I have any listings, like 104 listings on Kitizen. I don't sell kids' clothes. I just don't know a lot about kids' clothes. I don't have any kids. So it's like hard to learn that, that swath. Other than, if I found a Burberry dress or a tiny Burberry coat for a child, I'd be picking that up because I know what that is. Yes. I probably start needing to look in the kids section for that stuff. However, yeah.
Well, yeah, I never thought, sometimes, being plus size, I know plus sizes.
Right.
So I kind of stick with what I know because that's what that's one of my passions is to be able to provide plus size clothing to those who, are, maybe don't feel comfortable going in the store or they're looking for something at a little lower price online and things like that. So that's my whole purpose. Mm-hmm. Plus, like I say, that's my lane. I stay in it. I know what I need. I know what I know. So, but when I'm talking about plus size, now, do you sell a lot of plus sizes?
Not really. See, I don't really find a lot of good plus size. Now, if I find nice plus size, it's in good condition. Problem is that a lot of plus size clothes is made very cheaply. And, I know I destroy my own clothes because, you wear them out because they're not made well. And then the ones that make really the designers that make really good clothes, they don't tend to sell them in plus size because they are expanding though. So good for them. But
they are expanding. What I need for them to do is to expand to the right size. Make that
Yeah.
3X a 3X, not fit like a 2X. So,
Or one.
I need their sizing. I need them to get their sizing correct when it
Yeah,
comes to
yeah,
the
yeah.
bigger brands.
I really hate that about all designers is they all define what a size is to them. It's like, no, can we just have a
Right.
standard thank you? It's like when someone says,
Yes.
"Does this
Because
fit
I
your
always,
size?"
in my
No.
head, right, in my head, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking, are you using a plus size model for this?
Yes,
Do
yes.
you have a plus size dress form for this?
Right.
I
Or
mean,
you
so
just
in my
sizing
mind,
up a size 4.
right. Or you just taking a 14 and just making it big.
Right.
Because, now 14s, are plus sizes. And they're trying to make 12s plus sizes. I'm like, no, let's not do
Ridiculous.
that.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
I thought it was like, I think it was on a
Excuse me.
child's thing that it was a child size I had picked up by accident. I think it said plus on that. I'm like, oh, let's stop shaming children. Let's
Oh
not do
no, see,
that.
no, that's
Like, it's
just
bad
not.
enough that we get to have plus on stuff,
Yes,
but
yes.
I'm
Don't
like,
do that to
oh,
the babies.
no,
Because
that's
they'll probably,
awful.
because 9 times out of 10, they'll probably outgrow that. And even if they don't, oh well, they don't need to be stigmatized. They're babies.
Yeah, we need to
Oh,
love
I
people
think
for
that's
who they are, not for what they look like.
exactly. I hate that. Reclaim underscore by underscore Casablanca. Hello from Texas. I'm in Texas.
Texas,
Hey.
sent a cup that way.
Hey, Brittany, thanks for joining. Hey, Leslie, a reseller's passion joined. Courageously Thriving says, I think that every company that sells plus size clothing should have a plus size model ambassador. I do too.
Yeah.
I really agree. I just think that, it makes me wonder, are you using a true to life plus size person
Right.
to try these clothes on and fit these clothes on them? Because, I hate to spend that kind of money or even go try it on first before I spend the money. And then I'm like, oh, it's a 3X. No, mm-mm. This is not created for my behind, first of all.
Yeah, there's some out there that will actually use, like, I'm not that models aren't real women, but they're not a real representation of us. They really aren't.
Right.
And I love it when I see like a magazine spread and they're using women that are not necessarily models or not even typically model faces. It's like, I love this. I'm like, use real people. That's what people want to see. I can see that on me if I'm looking at this woman that looks like a real person and not
and,
the hell out of.
And that's one of the things that I love about the Diva of Curves, Texas, is that she models all of her clothes. And I think that that's great. And see, I'm not up for the challenge, but I think that it's great that she does. And I think that when I did that, when I modeled a couple of sweaters before, made a reel of it, I sold those sweaters like bam, bam.
Yeah.
But I just don't always have the get up and go to model every single item that I have. And some of it I can wear, some of it I can't. So, I mean, I don't want to squeeze into this 2X, because I'm going to look like I squeeze into it.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a good thing for others. You know how it goes. Some things work for others that don't work for you.
Well, and it's a big setup. It's a very different setup than taking them on a dress form or on a hanger. I've actually gone kind of away from using my dress forms. I have a male and a female one. And I kind of use the male one for kind of my plus size stuff because, it's broader. And so it showcases it better. But I've decided I'm going to go back to the hanger because it's just, I know it's simpler and it's a quicker picture. And I'm trying to get more listings. And so I'm trying to spend less time like styling them. Just still have the white background, but still,
Yeah, I think that when I still use my dress form, but as I've said before, it depends on the item.
Yeah.
Because if I have a top, if I have a top and it hangs just right, and I don't have this look, and if it hangs just right, then I'll go ahead and I'll take the picture on my dress form. But if not, and I get that sloppy, messy kind of, I just can't get it positioned right, I'll just put it on a hanger.
Yeah.
But normally my dress form works out well.
Yeah.
And, because I made the mistake once of pinning it And I was like, this is not a good look, because then I'm giving you the illusion that that's how this shirt is going to fit you. This plus size shirt is going to fit you when not. So I ended up
They
just
do that in
reshooting it.
store. They do
They
smaller
do.
models and they just pin it behind. It's like, I'm a plus size
Yeah,
4, but all these girls, they're a size 8.
right. I know, and I don't like it when they do it either. And I was like, well, I don't want to give anyone the wrong impression. And it was so funny because the more I looked at it, the more I was like, this ain't right. This ain't right. So I just took it off, reshot it, and ended up selling it. It was a really cute top, but I just don't want to give people the wrong illusion when I'm taking pictures. I just want it to look as neat as possible. So if the dress form, if Lola, my dress form, is going to cooperate that day,
Yeah,
cool.
right.
If not, that's all right. I don't need you now, Lola. I'll just go over here and hang it up.
I know Georgina gets very feisty sometimes.
Oh yes, see, I know. I knew I wasn't the only one who named her dress
Oh,
form.
I actually had 3. So one's hanging out. She's Georgina, and then I got Felicia. And I didn't really.
Oh, not Felicia. Felicia's always going places. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, right. That's been the name of every car I've ever owned, except for this one is Betsy.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I don't think I used to name my cars all the time. My last car, one of my favorite cars was Delta 88, because I love an old school car. And I named her Cocoa Butter because she was this smooth, just creamy brown. I just loved her. I just loved her. And she was a go-getter. We were always gone. So I love the fact that we can have this talk about plus sizes, because I just think that for some platform, well, I don't know, for me, for all platforms, I just want more plus size representation.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I don't mean plus size clothing. I mean, there was a comment once, and someone said, "Oh, you're not looking in the right places." I said, "Well, I had to respond. I just had to." I was like, "Well, when I talk about representation, I'm not talking about clothing. You can go on Poshmark and find plus sizes all day."
Yeah.
And I don't know about Macari, but I do know Poshmark you can. I said, when I say representation, what I'm meaning is that I want plus sizes to be seen more on these platforms. And by that I mean plus size people.
Right.
And I just think it's important. It's just as important to have someone who's slimmer be represented, just as it is to have someone who's plus size represented, because
right now, the slimmer people are overrepresented and the plus size people are underrepresented, and it's very similar to the way race is represented in this country. And
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And now that you said that,
I'm not worried about talking about anything. I will talk about
now that you said that, I'm going to say this, is that's what my post was about today, was because by Kamala being our vice president, this gives young kids a chance to see someone who looks like them, someone who's representative of them, because I mean, she's Black, she's Asian, she has a mixture.
Right.
And so it gives young kids, that's what's important to me, is that kids see themselves all over. You want to see that. So that was really what my first post about. Of course, I had to put on my pearls. It's the pearls for me, for her. But, I just think that it's so important, because we've seen other people, other races represented all the time.
Right.
But now we've come across this person who's made history.
Yeah.
Being a female vice president, being of a different ethnicity.
Right.
And so I just think it's very, very important for even adults to see that this is possible. But for sure,
when she was being sworn in, I cried, because it's like, as a woman, it's like, I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime. As growing up in the 80s, there was a lot about women can't do much, blah, 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 and it's like, my dad was a horrible person, always telling me that, you're a girl, you're not going to go very many places. It's like, he was kind of like that. And it's like, and a lot of people were like that, it's like, and it's sad we have to grow up like that, but it's like, this is a new beginning for our young children. And like you said, it's like, and it's good for it. The way I look at it, it's good for every race of young woman. it doesn't matter. You know, respire, especially mixed races of young women. You know, I think they have an especially hard time because it's harder for them to know which one they, you know, fit in, what category that they fit in. You know, and
Well,
I've seen that online a lot.
I so agree. I just think it's amazing. I mean, I myself am proud because you want to see that representation,
Yes,
and and here I go back to plus size again. This is what I'm passionate about is
right,
just getting platforms to know that while you are representing this set, represent this set
right.
because really and truly, the plus size industry is a moneymaker.
We have money.
We got them dollars, you know.
Yeah,
So why, so why not incorporate? That's just my thing. Why not just incorporate and let them shine as well?
right.
Evolvement always said, "I'm so glad that women in general have finally broke the glass ceiling." I
Yes,
so agree, Terry.
yes.
I'm just amazed. Now, girl, while I'm amazed with you being in there, I need you to do some work.
Yeah. We need some serious cleanup in aisle 5. Seriously.
Right. So while you in there, girl, I need you to do some work. I need you
Right.
the man to get it together.
That's right.
But oh my God, I'm so glad we had this talk about plus. I wasn't even expecting us to have it, but I'm glad that we did.
Me too.
And oh my God, we could go on with that forever.
Okay.
But what tips? What's your favorite? Give us like 2 or 3 of your favorite tips as far when it comes to reselling.
Well, I mean, I think I'm gonna sound like a broken record because I think we've heard this everywhere. Have good pictures, have good descriptions and good titles. Make sure you have the right keywords. Look up your comps, that kind of stuff. I mean, I think it's important to familiarize yourself with quality. So a
Mhm.
lot of us know like Target brands and Old Navy, and that's where I started. So I did not know anything of high value. I have learned from scratch since a couple of years ago. And I remember when I was in the bins, like I don't wear gloves in the bins because I need to feel the fabric.
The fabric.
And the
Hmm.
2 times I found cashmere sweaters that were like they retail for $2,500 each. The 2 times I found those, I felt them before I saw them, and I pulled them out and I saw the tag, and the tag on it, like the garment tag on it, was only tacked into the upper 2 corners. That's it. It was a very nice tag, and I'm like, this is quality and it feels so nice. I looked that
Hmm.
sucker up. I'm like, oh my God, this retail for $2,500. Oh, so I sold that for $100, you know, because the
That's a
retail value.
find right
I was
there.
like, fine, I got it for $1. But I didn't really know what I had. You know, I didn't really know how it would go. I probably could have got more had I known it thread up at the time, which I don't use them now. But had I known to thread up at the time, I would have got more. But then I found it again, and I actually got 150 for that one because it was purple
Wow.
and it was a newer style, and it was
Right.
California. I'm like, I don't know where you're going, honey, but it's hot in California.
It sure is, child.
Go
Or
get it.
maybe she was going, maybe she had a little
She's going somewhere
destination
cold.
ski trip. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Because, honey, it's hot in LA.
I know, right?
Let me see. We have a question. Evolving always asks, Melissa, what a power gem you dropped regarding what you do at the bins. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, that
she's so
was
sweet. Love
Terry. Oh,
Terry.
that's so sweet. Well, yeah, you know what, when I had this idea, like, I don't know, sometimes I just go off the rails with ideas. But
Me too.
when,
My husband
when
hates
you
it. I'm like, I got an idea. He's like, oh God.
right, I I when you said going to the bins, it reminded me because I thought, wouldn't it be an awesome idea? Well, of course, not now with the Rona hanging around, but wouldn't
Be sure
it
to
be
move
a
out.
great? Yeah.
Bye,
Can you
Felicia.
move on? Bye, Felicia. Can you? Wouldn't it be an awesome idea to take someone who is a newbie to
Mm,
reselling to the bins and
I've done that. I've done
help
that.
them?
I took my friend there once. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
I think that
interested. It
that
was a
is
lot
an
of fun.
amazing idea. It's just that, in your mentoring of someone, take them sourcing.
Yeah.
Take them to the bins, help them to figure out what's good, what's, not so
Hmm.
good, and what can, because I'm not one to fix things, but some people are.
Hmm.
They like to, patch up a little something or whatever. That's fine. But, kind of, take them to around to get shoes or, which brands are, show them how to do the comps as they're in there. I
Right.
just always thought that that was such an amazing idea to
Yeah.
do. And that helps, that way I will feel like I'm giving something back to the
Right.
community, getting someone else started. So
Right.
that's why I always like to ask, another reseller, another posture friend, what tips would you give to someone starting out? Because I
Um,
think that you never know.
well, I mean, obviously you're supposed to start with your own stuff. But,
That's always a good tip.
if you were like me and didn't really feel like you had anything of value, it's, I guess it's hard. It's kind of a loaded question to give any advice for that, but it's just like, kind of go with your gut. Go with what you know first. So if you
Yeah,
know a certain brand really well, look for that, look it up and see how well it sells. And if you can get something for really, really cheap and sell it for $15, like if you pay $1 or $2 and you sell it for 15, like on Poshmark that takes 20%, then you made 12, so you made a $10 profit.
right.
Bankroll that. Keep bankrolling whatever you make. Don't take any money back out. Just bankroll it until you can make more money, until you get to be where you want to go. I mean, that's the best way to do it. And don't
Right.
do it on credit. Do it on your cash.
Yes, I just let my posh most of the time. I mean, I do withdraw like every week, but a lot of times if I'm saving up for a particular box or something like that, I just let that money sit there and gather and gather and
Yeah.
gather and gather until I can, okay, here it is, got it, snatch it, do it.
Yeah.
You know, Petty dot Blonde said, "Hi, I'm new here. Are you new here to Brunch with Diva? Welcome, or are you new to reselling? Let us know in the comments." Leslie, a reseller's passion, says, I take people to the bins all the time. Our bins are crazy. They get the full experience at one time. They walk out as a pro. I tell people to contact me anytime they are in my area.
If I'm
Yes.
ever in her area, I'm gonna be the newbie because I would like Leslie to take me.
Well, I've already said between Leslie and Christy's Closet that when I come to Philly, I'm gonna need the full tour. We're going shopping. We're gonna eat. We're gonna do everything.
I know.
To both? Oh my God. Well, I mean,
Nice.
that is awesome sauce. I always
Oh,
love to talk to new
I'm
resellers.
loving Petty Blonde. I'm petty, so I love that.
I know, really. So what petty blonde? You're petty and you're blonde. We just love it.
I saw a post recently and they're like, this is the year for pettiness. I'm here for it. I'm like, yes.
Well, Petty Blind, you can reach out to myself, the Pink Diva Studio on Instagram, or you can reach out to Vandy's Closet, also on Instagram. And if you have any questions or anything like that, I don't mind asking questions. Leslie doesn't mind
Yeah.
answering questions. A reseller's passion. I mean, this is what the community is. I mean, we have such an awesome community. We don't mind answering questions at all. And I always say, if I don't know, I'll know somebody who does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
ignore the haters, because every once in a while you'll come across someone that says you're doing something illegal by reselling and that you're taking away money from the poor. You're not. So just
I
ignore
hate
those
hearing
people.
that.
They're just dumb.
Take it, and I'm thinking, at what point am I taking something from the
Right.
poor?
Exactly. I'm like, I doubt they even want this. What they're looking for is what's here.
Oh, wait, let's see. Did you see my post about maybe thinking I got banned from Poshmark after 8 days? Girl, no.
Who's that?
That's Petty Blonde.
Oh, well, I mean, the only time
That's
do
odd.
you have two closets? Because that could be the reason. If you had a
Oh,
closet and you didn't ask Poshmark permission for a second closet, they will basically shut it down. And that happened even when I did ask, because I have two closets and I did get permission for my second closet.
oh,
It shouldn't be linking to an IG account. That wouldn't do it. That
No, that
doesn't make
would
any sense.
no, that wouldn't do it. Now it would do it on Instagram because you can't link your Instagram, your Poshmark to your Instagram these days.
You can't? I haven't.
I
I've
didn't.
had a link.
Is that just for if you want to sell on Instagram? You can't link your
Oh, I
Poshmark
don't sell
to.
on Instagram, so maybe I don't sell on
Oh,
Instagram.
okay,
So,
okay.
no, but I
Um,
mean, yeah, I mean, I count eBay and the car, and that's it. So you only had one closet. So I guess that doesn't make
I
any
don't
sense. I've
know.
never
You
heard of
know,
that other than when
yeah,
people open a second account, or if you have, if it's under the same name, linked to the same banking information or whatever. But like, yeah, you just have to contact Poshmark support. Like they respond back to me within 24, 48 hours. So I just
yeah. It takes them
send
some
another
time.
message.
Yeah, it does take them some time to respond, but they will
Yeah.
respond. But she just said she hasn't had a response from them yet. Then maybe you could set up a new account, but yes, one brand new 8 days
I
old
would just
account.
contact them. Don't set up a new account. Just
Yeah,
contact them.
yeah. Mm-mm. That'll confuse them. You know, so you want to get this closet straightened out first
Right.
and see what the problem was because
Right.
it could have been an accident, you know,
It does take them a couple days to get back to you, though. They
yeah.
do manually reply to their email, so. And they don't have a
King
good staff.
Bernie, you don't want it. King Bernie, you do not need to know anything. That's a personal friend. You do not need to know anything. Um, Leslie says I don't relate to hate. Yeah. But I'm hoping that you get that solved, Petty Blonde, because you really want to know what happened. So in case you did something accidentally, you don't want to do that again. But I'd like to welcome you to the community.
Yeah.
This is a good break-in for you to get to learn something because sometimes, you know, we do things and we may not know.
Yeah.
When we start out that that's not the right thing to do.
Sorry about the noise. It's garbage day.
Kay's Glam Shops says, I would be new to the bins. Well, girl, to be honest, I've only been to the bins one time, and only because that when I went in February, they shut us down in March.
Oh, yeah.
So I have not. Yeah, I mean, I'm anxious to go back. I really want to set up something where I can go back and look. And even myself, I would love to go with someone who's a pro at going to the bins.
Now, where are you located?
I'm in Dallas.
Oh, that's right. You're in Texas. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Dallas. So I'm hoping that you know, I'll get a chance to get out and go again. I'm just, you know, trying to watch the flow around here in Texas because, you know, we got to stay safe everywhere. But,
yeah,
you know, Texas seems to just be running amok. You know.
You know what was really surprising? Not to really talk about it, but Rhode Island. What? The smallest state in the country is like at the top, like number 3 in flare-ups. I'm like, what?
Right,
like,
right.
Get your stuff together. You're small.
I need all of it to just get together at this point, you know.
Well,
so
I feel like it's going to be better. I feel like it's going to get
well,
better. But yeah.
Oh, Petty Blonde, you're in Houston? Hey, girl. Hey, neighbor. Well, I read your comment before that, Petty Blonde, and I don't know what item you put on there, and they tagged it as fraudulent. But if you relisted that, did you relist that same item? Maybe.
Oh, that's why then. Yeah, you need to contact.
Yeah.
I wouldn't list that item if someone flagged it, but.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to tell you that people can't hate on you, even if it's a original item, and you know that can happen too. But you know, just talk to them and find out. And if you told them you were sorry and all that, you know, but still wait on them to get back in touch with you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Melissa, I could talk to you all day. I've just enjoyed the conversation.
Me too.
And I mean, it's just, I love it when, you know, we could just talk about a variety of things, a variety of topics, and not just stick to reselling. I mean, I kind of, you know, really like to get to know the person themselves. Yeah. And I guess my last thing before we wrap up everything is, once the Rona leaves us alone, what are your plans? What is it that you want to go and do?
I'm going to travel thrift a little bit. So me and my friend, we're going to start going to, like, I live in Washington, so we were going to go down to Oregon, and I wanted to kind of go over, just look at different thrift stores, even in Eastern Washington. And I even wanted to maybe drive down to California. I don't know if she's up for that, but I'm up for that. And I mean, I kind of want to like drive around and to, you know, nearby places and kind of stop and thrift at places, go to different bins. And that was kind of my plan. That was my plan for last summer. And then 2020 was like, no, girl, I got different plans.
Right. Rona said, none of y'all are going anywhere. Sit down.
But it's hoping this spring and summer, because I think my state said about, you know, April, May is about when we'll probably get a vaccination, like normal people that are not normal people. I shouldn't say that. People that aren't, you know what I mean.
Essential workers and things like that.
Right. People that aren't at risk, or frontline workers or whatnot. So the little people at the bottom, when we can get the vaccine.
Yes, us little people down here.
That's right.
Well, I tell you, my whole plan last year, because when I turned 60, I really had wanted to go on a cruise, and I really wanted to, you know, just to get out and about. I had it so planned, but of course, you know, again, well, the Rona says you can't go anywhere. You just stay here, blow your little candle out, and sit down. So that's what I did.
Everyone got a time out.
So this year I'm hoping that I can do a little bit more traveling. I have so many PFFs I want to get together with and see, and travel to different states, thrift in different states, and it's going to cost me a fortune, I already know, because I'm going to be shipping everything back.
Right.
You know, because I won't be able to take it all back on the plane.
Right.
So I'll be shipping.
You know who has good tips on shipping is Denali and Ty. Both of them do a lot of travel thrifting, and a lot of times they do it together because they're besties. And yeah, they have great tips on shipping that stuff home at a pretty reasonable rate.
Oh, well, that's always good to know, because I can definitely check that out, because that is my plan, to travel, thrift, ship. Yep. So that's exactly what I want to do. Melissa, thank you so much. Tell people again what time your open mic is.
It's at 5 p.m. Pacific tonight, on Wednesday nights. Every Wednesday night for the foreseeable future.
Okay, and what time did I say? Oh, 7 for me.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much for taking out time to be on Brunch with Diva. And thank you to everyone in the comment section. I appreciate you as always. This will be on my YouTube channel, the Pink Diva Studio. Check it out. I'm trying to actually jazz it up a little bit, but you know, I'm having issues with that. But it will be on there. Follow me at the Pink Diva Studio here on Instagram. Follow Vandy's Closet here on Instagram. Is it the same for your YouTube channel?
Yeah,
same thing for our YouTube channel. Across the board, y'all. Have a great day your way, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.